What is up, all of you eggs and all of you shinies? It is Jackson from the 1313 podcast, joined to me with,
Jacob from the 1313 podcast.
and it has been a while since we've done a podcast episode for you guys. It feels a little bit weird almost. Jacob, how are you feeling about being back in the podcast limelight after being gone for so long, it seems?
Fine, rejuvenated. I feel like we actually have stuff to talk about. Instead of us just going into the ether and trying to make a video out of it. So we got Skeleton Crew out. We got a bunch of news to talk about. I'm doing good. Life has been whatever, but that's the Disney experience.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, at least for the show today, we're obviously going to talk about where have we been this entire time and what is the channel doing? What can you expect to see from us in the future? Going to talk a little bit about Hasbro's Gift to the Galaxy that they're doing. I was going to be posting just like 1313 collectors updates to that, but I really haven't. I've been slacking, a little lazy. Going to mention a little bit about the Rey movie and what's going to be next for the trilogy, just because that's been a real hot topic this entire length of the summer and fall. And then what else are we doing in life before we get to the Skeleton Crew? So, Jacob, where have we been? What have we been doing? What is new on the channel that people can see now?
So what's new on the channel is we decided that we wanted to change things up a bit. Instead of just releasing podcasts where we talk about kind of nothing every week, it felt like we had kind of exhausted all the topics that we could when there wasn't new content. We decided to change up our content pretty much completely to video essays. So right now on the channel, if you haven't seen it already, there's a video essay that we did talking about old Star Wars commercials and how good they used to be, and the kind of like the small history of it. It's like around 20 minutes or so. We worked really hard on it, and I'm like super proud of it. I think it's really cool, but that's what we're looking to do more in the future. If it does drop, it'll drop on the 13th of the month. We may have one coming this month. It's getting a little down to the wire, and it's Christmas. We're already busy with work. I got a wedding to go to. It's a little nuts. So it might not happen this month, especially because we're doing podcasts for Skeleton Crew. But in the future, you can expect on the 13th of the month a video essay to drop of just random Star Wars topics, more in depth, better edited, and a lot more fun of a video, I think. So that's what we've been doing. You can also see that there's more shorts coming out. Of course, there's going to be vlogs and whatever, and figure reviews whenever those go up or something new comes out. But yeah, just know that the podcasts are slowing down just because we're taking more time with other things. We're doing passion projects, and we're trying to. We've been doing this for 3 years now, and we did basically a new podcast every week for an entire year. And there's only so much you can talk about Star Wars. I say that, but then Star Wars Theory exists, and he's just been pumping out stuff for like a decade. So for our small, fragile little brains, we're doing something different, something a lot more fun, and I don't know. I just think the content is better. I think it's a better video, and if you haven't watched it by now, and I don't know why you haven't, it's sitting at like 3K views right now. So a couple people have watched
it's one of our best performing videos on the channel ever right now, which is like super awesome, and it honestly means the world to me too, just because Jacob and I put in so much work on that video. So it's good to see that it was so well received by people online.
Mm-hmm. You can thank Jackson for the writing. You can thank me for the editing, which works out perfectly. So now one of us is doing a whole bunch of shit. So worked out great. Loved it. If you haven't seen it already, please go check it out. Make sure you share it with your mom, your dad, your grandparents, and your goldfish, so we can keep the video going.
Yeah, no, true. And then, also just a little bit of housekeeping with the podcast in general. if you were a YouTube member for us in the past and you go on your YouTube now to see that that is no longer a function, we have temporarily turned off our YouTube monetization. We'll put it back on eventually, but we're still trying to figure out like what we're doing as a show, in terms of like providing content and then like extra features that we can give you. So the only thing that we are going to substantially have right now is we do have a Patreon, and that is only going to be it's going to be limited now to just one tier for $5. And if you do that, you'll get access to our Tagunga in Discord. You'll get early access to the podcast episodes and all of our future content episodes. And that's just because we don't want to create all these different things of like give me money, give me money, give me money without actually delivering anything. So that's why we're just going to do one thing for right now, just to keep it simple and sweet.
Mhm. Yeah, and also, this has never ever been about the money. Just the little bit of cash here and there helped keep it going. But since right now we're really just paying for. I don't even think we pay for StreamYards. We're just doing
I pay for
Adobe right
StreamYard,
now.
Jacob.
What?
I pay for StreamYard.
Oh, shouldn't we have a 1080 then? What's with that? But yeah, so we're it's just like 2 or 3 things that we do just to keep the show up and running. So any little bit helps that way. We're just not completely sinking our all of our lunch money into this. So very slay, very cool. If you decide that you want to, we really appreciate it. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I did also want to talk about the Gift of the Galaxy stuff too, Jacob. Now, have you been paying attention to that?
On a weekly basis, I'll check in and be like, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's nice. There's something new." I haven't gotten anything from Gift of the Galaxy
No,
yet.
me neither yet.
But it's nice to see. It felt like we were on like it felt like 3 or 4 months we were on like a really big drought of just absolutely nothing from the Black Series.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so for those of you watching who might not know, Gift of the Galaxy is a Star Wars promotional campaign, kind of like when they did like Mando Mondays, or they kind of make up a day of the week to do product releases. So the Gift of the Galaxy is on Tuesdays, and that is when they unveil like new like Star Wars products, action figures, etc. It has been more action figure related for the past couple weeks. So for the week that this is dropping, they did Kelnaga in the Black Series, and the week before that they did the Heroes of the Republic, and it's a repackaged Clone Wars Obi-Wan with a 212th Trooper. That was the Target
Mhm.
exclusive Obi-Wan. So I mean, cool for people
That's
for that
cool.
specific figure that
Get
missed
that one
it, so
back
they
out
can
there.
get it now.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
that figure back
exactly.
out there. It's really good.
But I feel like almost all of the products that we're seeing now, especially going into December, are all Revenge of the Sith based, and I'm so here for it.
Mhm.
Like the January like Lego sets are also supposed to be like Revenge
Mhm.
of the Sith themed, and it's just good to see that it'll get love.
Which is nice, except for have you seen that Lego is now starting to price gouge these sets? Lego has
What do you
upped the
mean by
price.
that?
Lego has
Oh
upped
yeah,
the
they're
price,
upping the prices.
but like a lot. So the biggest example of this that I've seen is that there is a for X-Men 93 or whatever, the X-Men show that was on Disney Plus. There's this set and it's like it's a ship and then 4 minifigures and it's 300 pieces. The set is $85, which is nuts for because everything used to be like, oh, you can basically price things out, price per piece. If it's usually any IP that
Mhm.
isn't Star Wars, if it's 300 pieces, you're looking at about $30. If it's Star Wars, you're looking 35 to 40. So now they're dropping this Ahsoka Starfighter, which looks dope. It comes with a new Ahsoka
Yeah,
minifigure, a new Anakin, and a new droid, and it's like I think it's like $50 or something, which
it's
usually
$50.
I know it's super nuts. So everything that's like had the Star Wars IP is nice, but it kind of sucks because it feels like they were waiting to make all re-release. Like they have the Arc 170 coming out, and it's like close to like
Yes.
90.
Oh my gosh.
The Arc
I
170
didn't know
is
it was
hella
90.
expensive.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
super expensive. That's why I was.
It's
It's
less
nice
pieces
that
than the original.
I know it's nice that we're getting these sets out, and it sucks because Lego knows that we want them, and they're choosing right now to up their prices like a lot. So it kind of blows. It makes me kind of sad. But
Yeah, no,
there's
that
really
does.
nothing I'm just getting. That just means I gotta get more and more selective with what I get. Like from the last stuff, I still haven't even gotten the set with Thrawn in it. I'm gonna get it eventually, especially down here because of the Lego store. And cast members
Mm.
get a discount. Rah.
There's
So
a
I
Lego
wanna.
store here too.
Yeah, but you don't get a discount. But I want to get that one at least, and then probably from this new wave, I'll get the Arc 170, and that might be it. Just because I cannot deal with that type of price hike. It's kind of insane.
Yeah. Well, if anyone is interested in getting Lego, I've kind of consistently found that Target has like the best like Lego deals, and they sometimes offer more off a Lego set than what like the Lego store will have.
Hmm. Trying to find
But
up to date
yeah,
so I can give absolute
well, you're
accurate
trying
price.
to find that.
Yeah,
Uh,
so the Arc
no, because
170 is 490 pieces, and it will be $70.
my
Um, the
gosh.
Ahsoka Starfighter is going to be 290 pieces, and it will
Okay.
be 55. Grogu and the Hover Pram is going to be
55.
100. Uh, the Acclimator, like this ship, that
Yeah.
is going to be $50. The Homestar Cruiser is gonna be 70, and that is 500 pieces. And then a new Grogu N1 Starfighter, which is these are like the mini builds. These are like the kid builds. These ones used to be anywhere
Mhm.
between $15 to $20. It's gonna be 30. So
$30 for a micro. Okay, never mind. I didn't
yeah,
know they were changing that drastically, dude.
yep, it's
That
really bad.
screwed
It's
up.
really bad. So
Well, thank you, Jacob, for the information on that because I would have never known Lego was getting so expensive right now.
it's getting kind of nuts. So
Jeez.
if you want any of those sets, just prepare your pocketbook. Hopefully you're rich. We're not. So maybe I think wait for that's the thing though, Lego hardly goes on discount. So
Uh,
pick your poison, I guess.
well, it'll always go on sale at the end of next year.
Maybe. I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. But
Anyway.
yeah, cool stuff. That's Gift of the Galaxy. The other news bit that I kind of wanted to talk about was the just like Rey in Star Wars.
He do be lagging. He do be lagging a
So,
lot.
directors,
He do be lagging quite significantly.
yeah, you like
Yeah,
it'll
like I
fix
think
it
we
in
got
StreamYard.
what?
Huh?
Oh my gosh, there's like a 5 second delay between us now.
Is there really? It isn't
Yeah,
on my end. It's just
I
you.
say something, it takes you like 5 seconds to react.
It's live on my end.
Hopefully that's how it records. Um,
We will
but
see.
yeah,
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Ray has kind of been like the center of all the news. There's been three different directors who have come forward with scripts for the Ray movie, and they've all been thrown away. And now, out of nowhere, Deadline was reporting that there will be a new like 3-movie trilogy that'll feature Ray instead of being like a
mhm,
standalone movie. But there still is no like credible script or anything that's been put out in the news as of late, but it just kind of seems like the whole Star Wars franchise is now riding on Ray. How do you feel about that, Jacob?
I think it's a terrible financial move. Just because of the amount of people that disliked the sequel movies. If you want to push all your chips onto another 3 movies with Ray as your lead, I don't think that's going to work. I think if you did a one-off, that was fine. Granted, we're nerds; we're gonna go see the movie anyway, just because we're like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Star Wars. But the general audience, they're probably gonna be like, no. we're not seeing this because we don't like Rey. We don't think she's a Skywalker. We're a bunch of hypocrites and we're a bunch of meh. So I don't think it's a good move to split it into three. I think the last thing Star Wars needs is another trilogy. From what we've seen from Disney Star Wars, the best things that have worked out is like things like Rogue One or things like Andor, which are kind of like solo projects, kind of separated from the bigger picture. Uh, Things that are just Star Wars like adjacent, where it's not all about the Jedi and all about lightsabers. And like stuff with the Mandalorian that's been going over really well. Just more stories told within that universe, which is why I think Skeleton Crew is rated so highly right now. It's because it's not
Yes.
focused on the Jedi. It's not focused on characters that we know. It's all new people. I think they need to either just do one movie or not do it at all, because to split it up into a trilogy just feels like they're trying to do another cash grab, and it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm also definitely of the opinion that like Disney Star Wars has performed best in shows or like a standalone thing. And so I feel like to say after they had maybe felt that the trilogy that they put out wasn't too successful, to be like, well, let's try it again. I feel like, why would you try to do that? And I kind of feel like nine is a good placement for the movies. I wouldn't want it to go beyond that. But again, this is all speculation. They have, I think, since Celebration London, they have announced and canceled so many different movies and shows that it's so hard to even believe now if they actually are going to like release something. The only movie we know for sure is happening is Mando and Grogu because it is
Because we got the
filming.
teaser. And yeah,
Yes, we
it's
have the teaser for it, we have the leaks.
I think that we've been saying this for a while. Disney just needs to shut up. And if they want to tell their investors that they're dropping something, that they have like projects in the works, just tell the investors and don't tell the general public, because we keep getting our hopes up for shit that's not coming.
Yeah.
So just tell it, just drop a trailer and let that be the announcement.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's too. Because now we have these expectations for Ray, and it might not happen. We had Rangers of the New Republic, that's just not happening. Lando,
Is
when,
still in development.
yeah, it's. I think they're just very hopeful that they want to try to get Lando off the ground, especially because they were saying that Donald Glover and Billy D. Williams were helping with the writing process. Um, but I know they said they were waiting for Gambino to do his music stuff, and then he was going to take a break from that and then hop on the Star Wars train. And he just dropped 2 albums, and now he's
Yes.
doing his tour. So then you would think maybe after the tour, that's when this would start, but I don't even know.
Well, that's also his final tour, Jacob. He got diagnosed with cancer, so he isn't going to do music or any of that anymore.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Well,
So
sorry.
yeah, that might also complicate things as well. But I guess we'll have to see. My prediction for when I go to Celebration next year is that they're going to do the same thing, and they're going to announce a bunch of different stuff, and then we probably won't see a majority of it.
Well, unless you see like trailers and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the only recent announcement that we had for something that is definitely coming was Visions season 3. I forgot about that. I didn't even write that in the script for today.
Yeah, no, that's exciting because we're Vision stands. I just wish that they wouldn't drop all the episodes on
Oh,
one day.
yeah, a little bit annoying because you got to binge it all to talk about it later, but love Visions so much.
Mhm.
Lope and
Very
Ocho
smart.
will still be the best one.
No. Did you see that some of the studios that are returning, one of them is Trigger, the ones that did like the brother and sister,
Yes.
which that's my
Mhm.
favorite one. I just love that art style, and I'm hoping it's a continuation of that story. Because that would be really fun. I still have their Figmas, uh, and they're one of my favorite figures in my collection, just because they're so posable and they're so fun. Uh,
Yeah.
they're
I see
definitely
their
not
Figmas at
faceless.
Ross.
No, they're SH Figure Arts. Um, I've seen Figmas. All did you say their Figmas were at Ross?
Yeah,
It wasn't their Figmas. There were these statues that Target put
okay,
out.
their
Those,
statues are at Ross because I
yeah,
see
that's what's
those all the
available at
time when I'm
Ross.
there.
I've seen those. Yeah, those figures they were produced very smallly. They didn't do a whole lot of them, and I somehow got both of them for $20. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
so dub.
Sweet. All right, but yeah, I mean, unless you had anything else, Jacob, do you want to get into Skeleton Crew? Because I'm very, very excited to talk about that.
Holiday special, holographic television. Rah.
I was kind of like when Jacob's talking about the section in episode 1 where Neil's is his name Neil?
I don't. Elephant Man.
When the Elephant Man's siblings are watching the TV, I was kind of like, Star Wars Yo Gabba Gabba moment right there.
Nope. It's from the holiday special. It dropped in 78. And the only reason why I know this is because I just rewatched it because I was doing some research. And yeah, I was like, it's the exact same
Is
thing.
Neil
Like
Lyons?
it's like screen grabbed from the holiday special and like remastered. It's like the exact same thing. And it's the same music too. So when I saw it, I was like, oh.
No, that was
So,
something I definitely didn't catch on my watch through until Jacob emailed me about it. I was like, oh shoot.
mm, yes,
Uh,
because I
sorry,
emailed
I was
you
just
like a business worker.
no, Jacob. Sorry, I was just going through my email really quick to get to my notes. My
You're
bad.
fine. Um, I'm really enjoying Skeleton Crew so far. I'm liking this vibe
Yes.
that's like it's like Stranger Things mixed with Star Wars mixed with Pirates of the Caribbean, like a little bit. Um, I'm really enjoying this epicenter on the pirates that we've never really gotten before, other than they just kind of show up and they're like, "We're bad." I like this center on them and how they actually act like how pirates would in a movie or like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's kind of got that same vibe to it. So I'm enjoying it a lot so far.
Yeah, no, I really like how fun this show is, and I feel like that's how I would describe it, at least in one word, just because it's silly for a lot of it. And like you said, because it's a standalone thing and it doesn't rely on like connecting to big ideas and characters, it can just do whatever it wants.
hmm And it's also we got to talk about its Rotten Tomato score right now. It's a 95 with critics, so it's certified fresh, and it's a 86 with audiences. So
No, yeah, see,
people,
because I've been digging through whenever Star Wars like posts about Skeleton through, and I'm not talking about like the first couple comments. I'm trying to like really scroll to like find stuff, and I can't really find anybody saying anything negative about the show. And it feels great to be a Star Wars fan right now, watching Skeleton Crew to be like, wow, everyone else is enjoying the show right now.
mhm. I yeah, it's nice to know that people are just like generally being like, yeah, this is fun. Um,
Mhm.
and although we love our member berries and we love our connecting to the whole wide galaxy, I hope other than this pirate crew being shown in The Mandalorian, I hope it doesn't go any further than that to connect it to anything else. I would kind of like a standalone story right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll certainly have to see how it ends, just because I'm curious if this is supposed to be okay. No, I'm trying to remember from some of the early interviews of the show, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, or somebody in the comments for the video can too, but I'm almost certain that they were trying to treat this as like a one season project, and if one season gets made, then it'll be fine. Unlike the Acolyte, where they said that and it didn't work, so I'm hoping they stay true to their word on this at least.
Yeah, yeah. I hope this is just it's a fun story. Can I get that Kindle that kid's been reading on? Can I get that? The where
I
the
really
things
wanted to
flip.
translate the Arabesh for that before the show, and then I was like, that is so much work, so I'm not as gonna do that.
Yeah, Ryan Airy will probably do it. So uh,
Yeah.
It's
No,
pretty
but it was
crazy.
cool. He's flipping through like, well, most notably, there's the scene of like Luke Skywalker with the Rancor, but
Hmm.
then it looked like High Republic stuff on it too,
Hmm.
which
It
I
looks
wasn't
just like
expecting.
stories of like the Jedi and things like that. And I also like
Yeah.
that he's talking about how the Jedi temples that we see on Lothal that they go underground when they're like in times of danger. I liked him talking about that stuff.
Mm,
I like how like the kids they're naive children and they're like it feels like a classic story of like so far like it's boys against girls. Which like, growing up on the playgrounds like how we did, girls had cooties and we had a grr. So is I like the vibe because it's connecting at home with like how like we were brought up as kids. I like the teasing and like the stories and that type of stuff. It feels right. It feels very natural for how kids would be. Um,
mhm.
and it's I don't know if it's like a shock seeing it in Star Wars. Seeing a Star Wars suburb is definitely a tone change. Um,
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of like Attack of the Clones when you get like a sports bar in Star Wars, and I was like, ugh. Like I didn't really know
yeah,
how to feel at first.
I think it's the purpose though, because it seems like it's leading up to this place being this mythical planet that nobody knows about. So it would make sense that if they're so self-contained and they have such a like it feels like they have like a caste system that you take your test and you find your life from there. Um, but it's if it's so like self-contained, it would make sense if they're so organized that you find your job by a test. It makes sense that they would have like suburbs and organized housing. Um,
Yeah,
so it it makes sense, and I think that's the reason why it's supposed to be so tonally different from everything else in Star Wars is because this planet is removed and it's its own thing.
yeah. I have a couple notes on that for sure. But the first one, just because you were mentioning the planet, Adeline, I'm pretty sure is what it was. Uh,
Mm,
but everything there is like a big brother system almost because it's like you said, everyone has the same house in the suburbs. If you looked at the cars, it's all on, like when you're riding the rides at Disney, like what's the go-kart one at Magic Kingdom?
the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yeah, it's like the illusion of free will because it's like I'm on a speedway driving a car, but you're actually on a line the
Mhm,
entire time that you can't stray from. I noticed that only when his dad was coming home from work that every car was on like that line system. So you can't impose free will and drive somewhere different. You have to stick to that specific line. Or even
mhm,
droids at their school that are like telling them like go in and whatnot or like monitoring them, they look like security cameras. Like you cannot tell me that like their head is
mhm.
basically like a gigantic security camera head.
It was
And
also
they're
the fact
always like
that it was like,
looking.
yeah, when they were like, the Neil was like, I have a question. Before he could answer his question, the droid was like, sit down. Like, didn't even hear him out. Um, so it's very
Yeah.
much in this. I liked the when the senator lady comes in and she's like, I took time out of my very busy schedule to come speak to you today. I thought that was funny. Um, just because it's like, oh, they're pompous, they're a holes, and then it's shown that she lives in the biggest house on the top of the hill with a fountain in the center of the cul-de-sac. So it's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was calling. But yeah, I'm curious to see what a lot of the other people do. This was actually a note that I had written, but because we're talking about both episodes at once because they dropped, I guess I'll just kind of flip flop. So, shout out to Rebel Force Radio. I listen to them a lot, and they had noticed this bit. But like the writers' table that they've been doing and like, putting out online, the directors talk about the show.
Yeah.
So in one of those, there was a written transcript of it that they put on StarWars.com, and they had to delete a section of it because one of the writers had originally said that the planet that these kids live on isn't known, and it's like so like far removed from like society because it's in the outer rim that nobody has any idea what the heck that it is, and that's why they think it's something like mythical, as we've seen in the second episode. But they deleted that excerpt of it from StarWars.com just a couple weeks before the show, just because I kind of felt they may have felt like that was a little bit of a spoiler. But now that we've watched the first two episodes and that's already established, it isn't really a spoiler to say that now.
Hmm. Did you notice the Michael Jackson Easter egg?
No.
So Michael Jackson, in the days of urine, had a film or short. I don't know exactly what it was called, Captain EO. And Captain EO had this lovely little critter with him all the time, which is the exact same
Oh my
thing
gosh.
we see in captivity on the pirate base, and you see them get set free after the kids knock over the cage and they fly away. So
Michael Jackson confirmed in Star Wars.
maybe he's running around there somewhere.
Maybe.
So
No, that is too funny.
the Easter eggs that they're throwing in this show are like beyond deep cuts, and I think it's very funny.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to think. What was another? The person that locks them up in the jail looks almost exactly like Constable Zuvio from The
I
Force
did know,
Awakens.
yeah. Hmm.
Yes, so I might be the only person on the internet saying this right now, so I'm going to speak my mind. Because in The Force Awakens, Constable Zuvio was supposed to be a major character, and they made an action figure of him too, and a comic, and then they cut him from the movie. And he's just in the background. But when that person locks them up, I was like, oh, it's him. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It was almost the same exact type of dress, though.
Yeah, no, I thought that too when I saw it. So maybe it's just the same character design because they're like, yeah, let's use it, or I don't know. Either way, Constable Zuvio and Skeleton Crew confirmed. Oh,
um, I was trying to look at some of my notes too. Oh, okay, so I also wanted to mention Jude Law's character. Uh, I have this crew list pulled here
Albus
so I can
Dumbledore,
actually see.
Albus
No, his
Dumbledore,
name
and
is
Star Wars
Jod.
Skeleton.
No, Jacob. Okay, his name is Jod in the show, but his name hasn't been revealed to us. But he's the guy at the end of the episode who's like, "Ooh, I'm using the Force." He's definitely got to be the pirate captain from
Yeah,
the first episode that we
I
see
agree.
everyone get mad at. And I
I agree.
also think he's faking being a Jedi. I don't think that that's true.
Really?
Because, okay, so here's my theory on that is because, again, the writers' tables have consistently said the kids don't know whether they can trust John or not. And when the key is moving to him, it doesn't move like how objects typically have in the Force, where like it might shake a little bit. It's kind of just like a linear thing, almost like it's on a wire the entire time. And if he was a Jedi this entire time, why is he still in a jail cell? Why does he need four random kids with a ship to get out of there? He's in a
Hmm.
spaceport. You can steal anybody's ship.
This is true. Yeah, I never thought about that. I did think that the way that the key moved was a little weird, seeing that the key ring kind of like went up.
Yes.
It did. But I'm not pushing all my chips on
It
that.
didn't
I'm not pushing my chips on black for that.
feel
We'll really have to see.
natural.
Mhm. Interesting. Very interesting. We shall see.
No, that's just been my general theory since like the trailer dropped from the show where they're like, this guy might be a Jedi. And I'm like, there's no way. But if he is actually a Jedi, I'm not going to be mad about it. It's just like this someone was joking about how I have conspiracy theories for everything right now. So
Would you like to enlighten us on what else do you have a conspiracy theory for, Jackson?
I have a conspiracy theory at my job right now because me and my coworkers would like to stand in like one section of the store, and then they put like this gigantic barrier on that section so I can no longer like lean on the wall. So I think that's big government looking out to stop me from leaning on the wall and have me do something different. Or did you want a Star Wars theory, not a word theory?
I mean, at least you didn't say jet fuel can't melt steel beams. I'm just glad you didn't say that. But
Oh, second episode, we also see the first tattoo ever done in Star Wars.
Yeah, and it was the Senate logo that used to be on Palpatine's like pulpit in the Senate. And the only reason why
Mm,
I remember
I,
this is because at Disney, you can pin trade, and there was a set that they did of Star Wars pins that were like symbols from Star Wars, and nobody has any idea what they are. So the most common ones I see on it are the Circle Fleet logo from Anakin Starfighter, the yellow ring with a red dot in the
mm,
middle with the line between it all. I see that one, and I also see the Senate logo a lot. So I was when I saw it on the dude's arm, I was like, ah, there you go. I know exactly what that is.
yeah, and then he gets bumped, and the droid's like, "You've ruined it." I actually mean it looks beautiful. Like,
He goes, wait, it
yeah,
wasn't
because we've
me.
always seen, yeah, we've always seen tattooed characters in Star Wars, like Cal Kestis and others, as like a mark of branding sometimes, but never like recreational tattoos for stuff, or even the act of getting it. But it still looks
Mm,
like for being a galaxy far, far away, they still use traditional methods.
mm. Well, it looks like he was kind of like burning it into him instead of it being like ink.
Ooh, know what? Yeah, you're right. I will probably have to rewatch that, but no, I think I do remember it looked like it was being burnt on rather than it being inked.
Yeah, so that's a fun, nice little detail. Um, what was I gonna? The spaceport looks a lot like one of the settings in outside of Jabim in Star Wars Outlaws, where it's like all like very meteor esque and blue misty, and I was like, oh, that's fun. I did want to mention that when they're
Mm,
asking the droid to get home, and it's naming all the systems, the last one it names is Aldani. So, haha, hee hee.
yeah, I thought that was funny. I was like, Andor moment.
Yeah, Andor moments, season 2 of Andor coming
Didn't
soon.
it comment something about Aldani though?
What?
I was trying to remember. I can't remember if it also commented on something about Aldani.
I don't remember that. If
Okay,
it did,
never
it
mind,
went
never
through one
mind.
ear and out the other just because I heard Aldani. I went, yeah. As I sipped my poor man's whiskey sour from my Loth Cat mug.
No, but I was trying to remember what Easter eggs or things I had for the show. Really like um, SM-33. That robot's really cool. It kind of looks just
Droid.
like a beefed up version of K2 Sark
I agree.
droid with a K2 model.
Mhm. Oh, there were skeletons in Skeleton Crew. We can confirm this, as
There were
noted here.
skeletons.
There were skeletons in the
I can't
crew.
wait for the next episode when they all get off the ship somewhere and they go, "You're messing with the skeleton crew."
So I'm trying to
That would
think.
be such a Marvel moment.
It would be. It would very much. That's why in Deadpool Wolverine, Deadpool just goes, "He's right behind me, isn't he?" I was like, "You asshole." I finally got around to watching that. Finally got around to watching it. Great movie.
I know, thank God Jacob did.
I knew Electro was going to be in it, and I didn't realize that Channing Tatum was Gambit and all of the clips I saw. So I freaked out when I saw him, and I lost my
Mm,
shit when I saw Blade. So and I also had no idea that Chris
that's
Evans
really
had
funny.
that cameo as a Human Torch. Major spoilers for Deadpool, by the way.
It's been
But
out for so long. I actually had the Human Torch part spoiled because Chris Evans posted on his social media with him in the Human Torch suit, be like, "Hey everyone, like thank you for this opportunity." And I was like, "The movie just came out, man. What do you mean?"
mhm. Well, it
Like
was
he was
also
the original
rumors
Human
that
Torch, Fantastic Four.
yeah, it was also rumors that another new Fantastic Four movie is coming out, but he's not casted as it.
Yeah,
But
Pedro
yeah,
Pascal.
no, I love that movie. It's so funny.
It was perfect.
It's the most I've enjoyed a Marvel thing in a while.
That's good.
So maybe Marvel's back. Maybe we're back. Maybe. I'm almost done watching The Penguin. Dude, that show's phenomenal. You got to watch it.
Yeah, I'm only on episode 2.
Yeah, you got to keep going. It's pretty flicking sweet. Um, I'm trying to think of like what else has been coming out. Oh, Hard
Been a
Knocks,
lot of
the
different
behind the
stuff.
scenes of the AFC North. It came out yesterday too. I started watching that.
Isn't it just about the Steelers,
It's about
or is it
the
the whole
Steelers,
North of
Ravens,
the Steelers?
Bengals, and Browns. It's the whole North.
Mm,
So,
nice.
and yeah, it's really good. It's just a behind the scenes look at how the coaching works, and like what builds up to the games, which is cool because it's something I've never seen before because I never played. So it's
Hmm,
cool. It's very nice.
fair.
It's like an hour long.
Yeah, for new listeners to the show, this is a Steelers household. So if you're not rooting for that, then you're wrong.
King of
Steelers are
the
going to the
fucking
Super Bowl
North,
this year.
kids. King of the
King
North.
of the North. Best team in the league right now. Can't even say the Chiefs are the best because Jeffrey Porter helps them win every game.
Mm. Yeah, shout out to Josh Allen for being the savior that we needed to dethrone those fucks. Oh, I hate the Chiefs. And shout out to Josh Allen. He got engaged to Haley Steinfeld. If you don't know her, she voices Gwen in Spider Verse. She plays Kate
Oh,
Bishop
wow.
in Hawkeye. And it's really funny because he got engaged to her, and the dude that voices Miles Morales left this cryptic tweet of him being like, "No, my baddie got stolen." So because there's just a bunch of stuff in interviews of him being like hitting on Haley, and she's just not having it,
That's
and then
what
she
that
gets
makes
engaged. He's
sense
like,
for.
"There'll always be more opportunities. There are more opportunities to love." He's like, "Shut up, bro. You weren't even in the door. Shut up." So it's really funny.
That is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was trying to think about any wrap ups for Star Wars. Oh, as Jacob mentioned at the beginning, I have a Lego Advent calendar. As a recording, today's build was the Super Battle Droid, doing those every day of December. And I also just remembered, because all the podcast episodes that we're doing are going to be like this. But if you stay tuned, we might be doing an in person version of the podcast later this month.
Yeah, maybe the first time in like 6 months.
I know that'll be a cool experience. That'll be crazy.
Maybe do it on Batu.
Ooh, that would be hard. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But Jacob,
But
did you have any closing comments or skeleton crew or things for the people?
no. Well, if you haven't watched the show yet, which I don't know why you have gotten this far in this video, if you haven't yet, go watch that. And if you haven't already, go watch the video essay Jackson and I did. Or if you watch it already, watch it again. I'm happy with how that turned out, and I'm really excited to do more of that.
Yeah, no, I really, really love the video. I put out a bunch of shorts trying to promote it too, and everything that we did has just received so much amazing feedback. So thank you again so much. If you're new to the channel and you made it to the end of this video as well, we really appreciate it. This podcast has been just nothing but a passion project. And like Jacob was saying at the beginning of the video, we're not on YouTube to become YouTube famous or to make $1 million. It's seriously just a fun hobby that we have doing. So we're excited that people enjoy seeing the content that we make for this fun hobby.
Yeah. Anyway, guys,
Yeah.
thank you so much for making it this far. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, tell us how your week was, tell us how you've been, because it's been a while. And if you're not already, please join the Discord. We got really cool people talking Star Wars in there all the time. Yeah, hashtag 1313 forever. We'll see you guys later.
See ya. Roll the outro.
Hello there. This is Mark Thompson. I narrate a bunch of the Star Wars audiobooks, and I just want to make sure that you subscribe to the 1313 podcast on YouTube and join their Discord to talk about some awesome Star Wars people. Follow them on social media and be sure to support them on Patreon and become a channel member for only $1 a month. Also, you can buy awesome merch if you want to look as cool as them. It is not an exaggeration to say this podcast is a work of art. Punch it, Chewie.